Hey everyone, it's Brian Jester, co-founder here at Occupy Fantasy, single game $1 million winner, and I'm here with the second installment of the Wild Card Weekend single game showdown video analysis. This time, NFL DFS picks and lineup advice, both FanDuel and DraftKings, for the Saturday night game between the Patriots and the Titans. If you're not already, definitely click that subscribe button to make sure you get notified when all of our videos are released, especially these weekends wild card single game showdown videos. So this Tennessee and New England game, if we look at the game total, it's up to 44.5 points. New England is a 5-point home favorite. Some sites have them 4.5, and it's no surprise that the public is all over Tennessee. We saw Tennessee clinch a wild card berth pretty handily in Week 17, albeit against Houston's backups. We saw New England suffer probably the biggest upset of the season at home when they could have clinched a first-round bye, instead lost to the Miami Dolphins. So these two teams are, in the public's perception, moving in opposite directions. So it's no surprise that early, even though the game opened as 5.5-point favorites for New England, despite all of the success they've had in the playoffs in years past, that the public was on Tennessee early, and the line dropped to 5 from the opening 5.5. So we expect a similar perception here in single game and showdown slates between the Titans and the Patriots. We think a lot of the public's going to be on the Tennessee side in this game. And in these videos, we like to talk about low risk versus high risk contests, but we'll make this very easy. It's very difficult to make a proper low risk lineup in this game, whether it's FanDuel or DraftKings. So while Buffalo and Houston looked great, you can easily fit two running backs, two quarterbacks from both sides. Not really the case in this matchup, especially when you look at the exorbitant price tag of Derrick Henry, $18K salary, or a captain salary, $12K flex salary on DraftKings, $16K, $1K higher than the next closest player on FanDuel. And you'll want to get him in because of his likely volume and touchdown potential in low-risk contests. But it's just really not possible to fit all the guys we want. So what we'd recommend, really lower your allocation here, 1, maybe 2% high-risk contests, play some satellites, leagues, and try to get a nice return on your investment. So if we are looking at high-risk contests, what do we want to do here? So the total is not at that 47-point mark that we normally look to fit receivers in. However, our Occupy model has a lot of the receivers ranked pretty highly, and there are some good leverage spots here. So while Derrick Henry does have huge potential, he's not going to play in the passing game that much. And at his price tag, he has to score a lot of points to make it worthwhile. So what we'd recommend is either using Henry in the captain spot, because in that scenario, if he does what he needs to do, he really goes off. However, if he doesn't go off, we don't see a middle ground here. He's either going to go off or wildly underperform based on his salary. So we'd recommend is either using Henry in the captain spot or MVP spot on DraftKings, or not using him at all. Now FanDuel, because of the touchdown potential, it's a lot harder to fade. It's generally harder over there because of the way their format is set up in general. So on DraftKings, you can put Henry in the captain spot. You can fade him. Other guys we like here, A.J. Brown tops our model. We know he has the matchup with Stephon Gilmore. All over Twitter this week, we see talk of how Corey Davis owns the Patriots. It's been 2 games. Let's not get carried away here. Hopefully that lowers some of the ownership on A.J. Brown. We like him as a captain as well. And then there are 3 different guys on the New England side in the pass game that have underperformed lately. Not going to say the common denominator is Tom Brady, but either way, regardless of why they've underperformed, they have been underperforming, and those guys tend to bounce back in a big way. And when you think of the public perception about this game, a New England heavy lineup really makes a ton of sense. Tom Brady will likely go under-owned given all the common perception about his play declining. We like him a lot too. Now, Julian Edelman, 18 targets, despite being banged up over the last 3 weeks. Still ran a route on 97% of Tom Brady's dropbacks in Week 17, so he can't be that unhealthy. He said this week he's feeling a little healthier. We like him as a captain. Next up, Mohamed Sanu. We look at his game log. actually tied for the team lead with 18 targets over the last 3 weeks, tied for the team lead in air yards. Yet somehow, despite his low air yards, his low average depth of target, only has 8 receptions over the last 3 games somehow. It's miraculous. He's actually behind John Brown, our number 2 underperforming receiver of the week, the only other guy that actually qualifies for that prestigious list. So we like Sanu as a captain as well. And let's not forget about the rookie N'Keal Harry, who leads the team in red zone targets since week 13, has been getting more involved, playing more snaps, as we see 14 targets over the last 3 games, has gotten a handful of carries as well. They're really getting him involved in the offense. We like him as well in this matchup too. So now if you're using these guys, you don't obviously have to, but if you're using multiple guys, we really like Tom Brady in the Patriots passing game here. Now, if you're not a fan of the passing game or you want to play a different game script in a low total game, Sonny Michel. Michel has gotten nearly 20 carries per game over the last 3. We saw what he did in last year's playoffs. So while he's very game script dependent, if the game script points in the favor of New England, like Vegas expects it to as a 5-point home favorite, and if Tom Brady truly is in decline and they're trying to hide him and they're trying to get out of here with the win, Michel may be your best bet. If we look, 18 carries in week 17, 21 in week 16, 19 in week 15. Again, not going to get much in the passing game, but in a game script where New England leads, in a story that you're telling where New England leads, Michel could very easily be the highest scoring player on the slate, and we like him as a captain as well. So a lot of different captain options in this matchup. So we'd recommend, especially if you're making multiple lineups, to spread out your captain exposure. Don't go all in on one guy. Mix it in with quite a few guys. This is the perfect high-risk multi-lineup slate. FanDuel. Let's go over here just really quickly. As unfortunate as it is, FanDuel, you still have to use quarterbacks in your MVP spot. Derrick Henry is the number 1 because of the highest touchdown potential. Just realize what potential game script he may not play in. Ryan Tannehill, Tom Brady, and then the other guys we mentioned, especially N'Keal Harry. If you go down, N'Keal Harry is super cheap, $7K. Love him as an option in all contest types, MVP or flex on FanDuel. So, same concept applies here. Just use a little more of your quarterbacks in your captain spot. Henry, a little bit harder to fade over on FanDuel. All right, that'll do it. If you want full thoughts on every player in this game, important notes, recent usage, if you want detailed strategy for Showdown, if you want to know how this game plays into the bigger picture of the 4-game slate over the entire weekend, hop over to OccupyFantasy.com. We'll put the link in the comments below to the daily plug. It's our write-up every single week. If you're not already, definitely subscribe below to get the latest videos, especially the other Showdown videos that are going to be released this weekend. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. And if you have any questions, comments, drop us a line below. We'll get back to you before this game starts Saturday evening. All right, for Brian Jester at Occupy Fantasy, appreciate you listening, and good luck this weekend.